Hello, my friends. Welcome to Sharing Calm. If you haven't been here before, my name is Sydney. This is my first ever time going live on YouTube. So, feels a little different for me. Some things that I want to say in advance. You've seen the title of this video, I presume, so you know that we will be meditating together. Typically, when I film and upload these videos to YouTube, I try my best to make sure if any of my animal companion friends are making noises to edit those out so that they don't disturb you. However, since this video is live, I cannot do that. So I apologize in advance if my dog or my cat make any noises that are distracting. What I like to say about distractions in meditation is it's like lifting heavier weights for the mind. You have to work harder to remain concentrated and focused. So I know that it can feel irritating, but when those irritations arise, that's what we want to work with. When difficult emotions arise, when we're sitting in our meditation, that's where we get to practice remaining calm, steady, and even keeled in the mind so that we're not reacting subconsciously to everything that arises in life, but we can approach life and respond to things how we truly would, like our real self, not just our subconscious, habitual patterning reacting for us instead. Now, I was planning on sharing a meditation this week all month. I kind of planned out the videos that I'm sharing every week for the month ahead. But this week in particular, I think meditating is very important. I myself struggle sometimes when there is so much in the news telling us about all the suffering in the world. And there is more than I know how to handle, more than I'll ever be able to handle, honestly, more than I think humans were designed to handle. But without meditation, I know that I would be doing a whole heck of a lot worse. On Sunday, for example, just to share a bit, I guess, personal about myself, I was mentally spiraling. I was sitting on the couch, staring out the window, feeling totally useless, hopeless, unsure what to do or what my place in the world is to help anything that's happening. All the violence that occurs, it feels like there's nothing that I can do. But there are actions that we can take. We don't want to feel hopeless or like we may as well just all explode and begin this human race again in some new way that would hopefully not be so violent and hateful towards one another. But there are things that we can do to change the course of where the world is heading. And we'll best be able to approach these solutions with a clarity in the mind. So with a calm, clear, level-headed mind. Now that doesn't mean being apathetic towards your emotions or hoping that you have no emotions at all. We want to be able to feel our emotions exactly as they are, process them, and transform the energy from those emotions into something actionable in our lives. If we choose to not sit with our emotions and to just react rashly, brashly out into the world, then we might not be acting in what is the most best, efficient, and helpful way. I'm not the guru of all the answers in life, not by any means at all. I've just been meditating for a very long time. I'm a student and a practitioner of meditation and yoga first and foremost. And these practices, these techniques, and especially here today, such a simple technique, spending time focusing on the breath, does help me to be my best self in my life for other humans, not just for myself. So spending time sitting in silence is not a selfish act. A lot of people sometimes think that it is. Like you're doing nothing, you're just sitting there, you're wasting time. There's so much more that needs to be done to help other people. But I know for a fact that I cannot help other people best unless I have taken time to process everything that's coming in all the time, all the information, all the triggers, all the emotions. If I don't sit with that, process it, then I'm never going to be able to be who I want to be out in the world. I will end up sitting on the couch, feeling almost comatose, staring out the window with feeling like my hands are tied, like there's absolutely nothing that I can do. And I've been there. I used to be there so much more often than I am now, because now I have these tools and I use them often. I'm really passionate about sharing them, but I'm not perfect. So even while I'm here sharing, I'm teaching, I don't want you to ever think that I have all of the answers, but I'll do my best to help you along the way. I think more than anything, this job that I have sharing and teaching yoga is not me one step ahead on the ladder climbing and helping you along the way, but I like to think of it as we're all equal, holding hands, teaching one another. I learn just as much from my students, from the people that come to listen to me share the philosophy of yoga, share these techniques. I learn just as much from you all as I hope that you learn from me. I have a teacher, her name is Francesca Cervero, and she is a wonderful advocate for acting in the world beyond just in your own practice. Something that she says that helps me feel hope is that even though this ship, this world and humanity, the way that it is, feels like it's going down a course that is not good, we can collectively, if we take action and compassionately take action with one another, we can turn that ship and take a different course. There can be a different future for humanity than the one that seems like it is inevitable. And that gives me a lot of hope. Now, I'm done preaching, if you want to call it that, done with my little long intro here. I just think meditation is important. I think people like to say that it's doing nothing, you're not helping anything, but I cannot help anyone else until I help myself. And I believe that to be true for many people. It may or may not be true for you, but what I encourage is to test it out. Give yourself a full month of at least 20, maybe even 30 minutes of silent meditation each day, spending time with the contemplative practices that allow you to process and witness yourself so that you can almost reprogram yourself to be the best version possible. That being said, let's begin that practice together here today. Finding a comfortable seat, however you'd like to sit. You can sit on a couch with your back up against something. You can sit against a wall. If you are really exhausted and you need to lie down, more than welcome to lie down. But I recommend an upright, most dignified posture. This upright posture encourages you to remain awake, and encouraging the brain to remain awake is also what encourages it to help stay present and aware of the moment at hand. If this practice is new to you, then be patient with yourself. Try not to get frustrated with yourself if the mind distracts or wanders away. That is normal, expected, and a part of the practice. It is not mean that you are bad at meditating. In fact, if you notice the mind drifting away, that in and of itself is the practice. You have noticed your mind and you're beginning to become more aware of the tendencies that the mind has so that you can unravel them, unwind them, keep the tendencies that serve, that are good, that are compassionate and loving and help you and help the world, and let go and unwind the tendencies that are not beneficial and not helpful to you or the world. So we'll begin. We'll do 30 minutes of meditation together. I'll begin with guiding some ways to stay aware and stay present with your breath. And then the vast majority of our time after that will be silent together. We'll be setting a timer, so a bell will go off. And then when that bell goes off, I'll slowly guide us out of the practice. I want to say thank you so much for joining me, whether you're joining me live or in the future. I appreciate it so much. This video, like I said, feels different because it's live. It puts, I don't know, some weird pressure on me that I'm not used to when I'm filming these videos. So please forgive me if I stumble over my words at any given point in time. I'm just a human being like you are too. Alrighty, my friends, starting our timer now. Once you've found your comfortable seat, if you have glasses, I recommend removing your glasses and letting the eyes gently come to close. If closing the eyes doesn't feel comfortable, or you don't feel like you're in a location where it feels right to do so, then a soft gaze just down in front of you towards your lap works just as well. You might need to shift around the body a bit to find a way to sit comfortably and to the best of your ability. Once those initial movements have taken place, allow yourself to be still. If you feel pain or discomfort in the body during the practice and need to adjust your position, then do so with as little movement as required. Movement in the body, the physical body, causes sensations which bring distraction to the mind beyond what you're aiming to focus on. So we try to keep movements to a minimum when possible. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice if there's a particular part of the body where you feel the touch of breath the most. The chest, the nostrils, the upper lip just below the nostrils. And then whatever that place is for you that you feel the breath, try to watch and follow the entire length of an inhalation, and then the entire length of the following exhalation. Letting your awareness be pinpointed on as small and specific of an area as possible, laser focusing the mind on the breath, where you feel it right now. Allow the breath to be natural, its natural pace, its natural rhythm, without any added control or restraint. Let the breath flow inward and outward exactly how it wants to. And all the while, the breath flows inward and outward, retaining your attention in that laser-focused area where you feel it the strongest. Observing the breath. Observing your body receive the breath in and release the breath out. Whenever the mind drifts away, noticing the mind is thinking, and return to the breath. Whenever you feel sensation elsewhere in the body, notice. The body has an itch, the body has an ache, or whatever it is. And return your attention to the breath, not ignoring, not forcing thoughts away or sensations away, recognizing their existence, letting them be, and returning your awareness, your focus to the sensations associated with the cycles of respiration, breath as breath flowing in and flowing out. If you feel emotions arise and bubble to the surface, whether the emotions are positive in tone, neutral, or have a negative tone, observe the emotion as emotion. Let it be, recognizing its existence, not hoping or wishing it away. Let it be present. And at the same time, returning your focus to the breath, watching how the breath might change as different thoughts, emotions, or sensations arise and pass. Witnessing all that there is to witness about the simple breath. A doorway to deeper awareness of the connection between the body and the mind. Gaining more and more insight and wisdom over yourself, your patterns, your habits, your tendencies. All while the this technique of Anapanasati, breath awareness, remains the same. Noticing the breath, feel the breath, remaining aware, steadily on the breath for as sustained of a period of time as possible. Allow awareness to be separate from thought. Thought as thought. Awareness as awareness. Breath as breath. Body as body. All here together in this present moment. But gradually, as time passes, sensations in the body, they change. Thoughts in the mind, always changing, revolving, moving, shifting. Let the part of your mind that is aware be stable, steady. Witnessing the change. As a way to work towards breaking free from your own internal struggles, internal suffering. When there is pain in the body, the mind, or the heart, observe it, recognize it, note its existence, its presence right here. But do not react. Do not attach or become averted to what is present, not craving for something different. Recognize existence of pain, if it's there. And return to the breath. Watch the breath. Allow the wisdom of the body and the mind to process, to integrate wisdom from whatever is happening, and to let go of the rest. Letting go of the analyzing mind, though, letting all of this processing happen on its own, while remaining focused on the touch of the breath as the breath flows in and as the breath flows out. On any given day, if the mind is particularly distracted and remaining with the breath feels difficult, you might utilize some words, a count perhaps, inhaling, counting 1, exhaling 1, inhaling 2, exhaling 2, inhaling 3, exhaling 3, and so on. Maybe seeing if you can remain with the breath, focused on it until you get to 10. If you lose track, lose count, returning right again at 1. Being patient and persistent all along the way. And if you make it to 10, maybe you start again, seeing how many sets of 10 you get to. And if you notice the mind is able to remain upon the breath, letting that count eventually fall away. If a count doesn't serve you, then maybe as you inhale, just thinking in. As you exhale, thinking out. As I breathe in, I am breathing in. As I breathe out, I am breathing out. Only utilizing these tools, these words or counts for as long as is needed, and then letting them fall away when they don't. Again and again, returning your awareness to the breath. Patiently and persistently working with the mind to sustain your awareness, to sharpen your awareness. Strengthening the mind. So that it doesn't run rampant out of control. But rather so that thought can become intention. Intention can become action in a more conscious way. Letting go of the need to react to every single stimulus that arises. And allowing as well the stimulus, whether it be strongly negative, strongly positive, or neutral, become almost equal in the mind. So that certain things don't become our entire focus. Our minds have a tendency, they've evolved to pay attention to negative tones, negative feelings in the body, thoughts in the mind, emotions in the heart, and to do something about them so that they can go away. And there is, of course, as I said, an evolutionary purpose to this. But in order to continue to evolve in the way that we best see fit, to build a humanity that is compassionate towards one another, all beings, we need to be conscious of not only negative, positive, and neutral stimulus as well. This is where we gain control over the mind to not only see what we wish to see, or what our brains have been trained to see, but so that we can be mindful of everything, the whole entirety of each moment, mindful of it all, the totality of existence, while it is there, in the present moment, before we've missed our chance to see the whole of our lives. So that we can take in the positive and the neutral just as firmly as the negative tends to sink within. Allow compassion, gratitude, and joy to root down just as deep as pain. In fact, to perhaps take the place of suffering. So focusing on the breath, feeling the breath, noticing the breath, and allowing the mind to witness whatever happens outside of the field of breath at the same time. Noticing whatever arises in order to practice a state of non-reactiveness, working to cultivate equanimity in the mind, a stable, present mind, regardless of the state surrounding your seat of awareness. Totally here in the now, regardless of whatever else is happening. And the breath that you can focus on is always as well in the present moment, only right here and right now, a tool that we all have and are all capable of utilizing at any moment in time. Feel your breath. Feel the breath in. Feel the breath out. Take a moment here to bring your awareness from your breath down into the space of the heart, the center of your chest, a moment for loving kindness or metta, feeling compassionate in a deep way towards yourself and towards all others, everyone, everywhere, and all time. May we find happiness. May we find peace. May we find freedom from our suffering. Gently take the hands, bring the palms together, and rub them together to feel warmth, friction, heat, and energy between the palms. And once you feel that, taking the hands to the shoulders, the neck, rubbing upwards on the face as you blink the eyes open. And come back into the space, the room, the environment that you find yourself within. Take as much time as you need to slowly exit your meditation. Sometimes you need to stretch out the legs a little bit, walk around, almost have a transitionary period between meditation and going back to life. Maybe journaling. Sometimes that moment after meditation is where you have the most profound thoughts. There's a quote, and I don't have the exact quote, but maybe I'll put it in the description because I have it written down in a notebook somewhere. That's about how the wisest thoughts, most profound thoughts, even most beautiful poetry comes from a space of silence with the self, stillness and silence, which is why I think that meditation and practices like restorative yoga or yoga nidra, anything where you're still and silent, have the ability to be the most transformative. It's not always, you don't always need to hear me telling you what to do or what to think or how to practice. Oftentimes, we just need to find that truth within ourselves because we all have it. It's through direct experience, direct perception that insight will naturally come, which is why we practice and why I share, so that we can all find that sense of, I do believe that we are all connected together. I want to thank you once again for joining me, for sharing this practice with me. I want to say, I don't know again how this live video worked out. I have never done a live on YouTube before. If the connection was okay, if the sound was okay, if the video was okay. I'll find out soon enough, but please let me know if you have any feedback on sharing in this specific way. I know it seems the same as just uploading a video, but there's slightly more technicality with it. And I kind of wanted to test it out to see if I could do this in the future. It just takes way less time than filming, editing, and uploading just to press go live, share the practice like this. If you are watching this in real time, then in a few days, I am hosting a virtual on Zoom meditation workshop. So if you want to practice these techniques and learn more, talking about the philosophy and digging into some common difficulties that people may have and how to overcome them in their meditation practice, and perhaps discuss with the collection, a handful of others that will be there with us. If you can't attend live, you do get the recording, so don't feel like you have to be there live. There is a cost to the workshop, but I'm not inhibiting anyone from joining due to cost. So if you send me an email and let me know, I will add you to the list and you'll be able to join us. No problem, no questions. You don't need a specific reason to ask. That is all, my friends. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions about your practice, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.